Shadow and I both let you know back then too that it was overkill, but you know, you're stressed, you're worried about the dentist, so you're doing what you think's, you know, the solution is just brushing your teeth a lot. So yeah, you're trying. That's the main thing. Also, I see you, Viking. I see you run into Shadow, giving them hugs, give you some pats. He stays at side, waiting to happily. You should just give me a hard time about flossing. Yeah, I get that too. The funny thing is, I actually have to floss a fair bit because I've said this previously, but I had a I have a tooth up near the back, like in my molars. We're also about to get an ad, just heads up. So I've got a tooth up the back, my jaw, that's it has a protective cap on it to stop food from getting stuck between the teeth, and that fell out 2 Februaries ago. I was drinking a cup of coffee and I just found it in my cup, and I freaked out thinking that the cafe had like a tooth in my coffee, and it was actually it was the protective part of my tooth in my coffee. Weird shit. But anyway, that happened, and I haven't gone to the dentist yet because I can't afford it. I hope to eventually, but yeah, I need to go and see them to get the protective cap put back in place so that I don't get food stuck up there. But basically every single time I eat, as soon as I take a bite, I immediately have food stuck between my teeth, and it drives me nuts because it's the most fucking uncomfortable feeling to just have like food wedged between my tooth and gum. It's really friggin' uncomfortable and distracting, and I don't want to take another bite until I clear it. So I actually floss quite a lot. And the funny thing is, when I go to the dentist and they're like, show me how you floss, and I'm like, sure, and I do, and they're like, you don't have to, like, you know, you don't have to overdo it and whatever, or like, you know, you don't have to show off. And I'm like, I'm not, this is how I floss, like. And they're like, oh. But yeah, I also still get like the smack talk about, oh, you're not flossing enough because look, if I do this, your teeth, your gums bleed. And I'm like, if you do that, my teeth are gonna bleed. Like, no shit, Sherlock. Like, we're both in an impasse on this situation, as we know that it's gonna bleed if you do that, you know. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I brush my teeth pretty much every day. I'm a little bit slacker in like the last year or so because I haven't had the greatest health, especially over summer. I really struggled with like overall hygiene. Like, you guys know that I was mostly prioritized on staying alive more than I was like whether I managed to shower or do my teeth in a 24-hour cycle. It was different for me because as somebody that like deals with OCD, hygiene and hand washing and stuff, not being able to like overall shower or do my teeth and stuff was a problem. But I also wasn't eating. And I was struggling to keep up with my hydration and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, honestly, it was the least of my concern at that time. And I'm just making sure that I keep on it now, because once you stop doing something, it's hard to keep in practice kind of thing. It's one of those weird habit things where you do it for like 20 years of your life and you stop doing it for a month and suddenly you can't do it ever again. Like that kind of bullshit. I'm tired, don't know why. I feel like that's just a general synopsis of how most people are these days, unfortunately. We're all kind of a bit tired, aren't we? As for me, I'm actually okay today. So I had a night off last night to rest because my osteoarthritis in my shoulder was just being unbearable since like last Wednesday, and I couldn't deal with it. I was like really shitty and snappy and bitchy and shit. So I just didn't want to inflict that on everybody. So I just took a couple of nights off. And so I didn't stream yesterday, but I've been resting and it's been nice. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of in the most normal state I've been in for a while, which is wild. I did eat some food yesterday. It gave me insane reflux, and I don't understand why. I couldn't get it to stop, so I don't know what that shit was about. But it was like hours of just like feeling like my throat was dissolving. So if I have a bit of a rough voice today, that's your reason why. Ain't nothing I can do about that shit, unfortunately. It happens occasionally. You one's wagging tail happily snuggling wool plush. Not biking. Give you and plush some pats. I do hope that they actually do destroy some of these beds too. I know that they won't, so I'm going to get somebody, maybe not Cypress. And if I can see one of the chimpanzees up here, Enyo doesn't look like she's moving too well. What's wrong with you? Food poisoning. Yeah, that's the sentiment of my entire colony, I'll tell you what. It's food poisoning for everybody. Wax so happily receiving pats. Really receiving more pats. No. At least they've got a rec room now. Look at this. Look, even Shadow's just chilling there, watching some TV. Actually taking some time to chill. Like you should. Let's see, who else is in here? I'm gonna see if I can spot. There's Moose. I saw Nikki in here before. Or she was in the area. I'm not... Oh, there's the Waivers Gorilla. No, Waivers playing some games. Nice. Yeah, I don't see anybody else specific in here. Not on like a glance kind of thing. But hey, there's Chimpanzee. Which chimpanzee are you? You're the good chimpanzee. Mate, have I got a fucking list of things for you to do? You should come with me for a minute and get rid of these so we can repurpose the wood. It won't even take you very long because you're like maximum construction. So great. Let's see. Pat's Viking and Hugs because having a rough day. Yeah, Cat's having a rough day, Viking. You can always give them cuddles and stuff. He's watching the stream too. Yeah, pretty much. These bastards are like tuned in, aren't they? Why? Why right next to where I am did that have to happen? Every time. I swear, every time I zoom into something, somebody slaughters an animal. And it's never a buck. Let's see if we've got bucks around. They're at least humorous to kill. They like scream in surprise, like they weren't expecting it or something. You know, that's always amusing. I love that I have marine armor on. A hyperweave cowboy hat, very stylish. Hey, you came with that. That's what you came into this colony with. Half of my people are naked. That's a problem that I've got to actively work on too, actually. Is I only have a couple of tailoring benches. And what I really need is, I don't give a shit. Honestly, I want them down here. But right now, I can't guarantee that we have enough electricity coming down first. We might, but I don't know if my people are coming down this far. So, what I'm gonna do, just to get people moving, because I need shit built, right? I need shit built more than anything than it being inside of a room or whatever. I can move this shit later, right? I just need... I need a couple electronic ones up in here. Like they can even have this little alcove in here for all I give a shit of, right? They can work in here. That's not where I wanted that last one. I need them to be making clothes like the motherfucking wind. That's what I need them to have. And they also need these, apparently, I think. Yes? No? Hold up. Let's go find out. Yes. Alright. Alright, let's pop one of these in here. Cat's having an insulting streak. I think they should be all able to access it from here. Give or take. And I guess they're going to want chairs. Yeah. Alright. Look. At this point in time, I can move these later. Alright? That's how I feel about this situation. I just need shit built. You're trimming Kumiko. That's fine. Lincoln, mate, what are you doing? Assuming Pemmican? How's about we build shit first? We get some shit built. Also, I hope you had a good birthday, Biken, on the weekend. I didn't get to... Well, I wish you happy birthday in Discord yesterday. Or Sunday? Sunday. But yeah, I didn't get to catch up with you yesterday, obviously. I figured that that painting that you made was the one that you're working on for ages. See? I think he's watching his stream. That's how Swaggy falls asleep snuggling. Wolf blush. No, Viking's fallen asleep. Here I am, talking to Viking as if he's awake. Tamed a yak. Good. The only last one will be out of reach of the toolbox. The one down here. Yeah, maybe. I can always move them up a bit. I just don't really want it to be in the way. I don't want them to have to walk across it. Like, I'll put it in there if I have to. I just want them to build it. So I can move it after they build it if I have to. I just need it close enough that they'll work on it. I've got basic ones out here, and I should be able to... Actually, if we've got doors on all this, I can enclose this. So, build a roof. I don't have... Oh, I've got some. What are these? Steel. You know what these should be? Is I should take these and deconstruct them. We should also make sure that the roof is removed out of this area, you know? Just in case. Is that an orange horse or a cream horse? Because if it's an orange horse, it's gonna die. Just saying. We don't have orange horses here. I'm not sure how close I want these to be. Where did I put the other ones? Okay, 4 centered and then out. Alright. See how that goes. Masterworker. Actually, you know what I can do? Let's make it literal to it. I can't guarantee that these are going to be in the exact same spots, but I can try a little bit, like here. I'll figure out how many up from that it is. So, can I have these squares? 10 over, 9 down, 10 and 10. I feel like it's 9 and 9, honestly. I'll check. 6 from an edge. Should be... No. Come on. 6 from an edge. It should be from down there. How many over is that? It's 9 by 11. Eh. I mean, I could... Oh. Fucking hell. What is this one? Yeah, it's 9 by 9. Alright, I fucking thought so. Stop that. I kind of want to get these buggers in, like, the right sort of place, but it's not super easy to work out. Take this through the center. This is center line. Hash that to the side. Alright. So, I don't bloody know. 3, 4, 5. If we're taking it to here, it's going... What is that? 5 to... What is it? 4 to center. Fucking hell, I love this. Alright, so it's about 9. Take it down to 9. I don't think that looks even at all. Ah. Somebody's inspired. Great. Good for them. Yeah, I need to move this down by a little bit by the look of it. It's up by 5. If I was taking this down by 5, it'd be there. I think that's too much. So the toolbox. Oh, they answered me about the motherboard. Oh, yeah. I gotta send it back to the seller, by the way. The word for situation. What's the word for situation? Returns. Usually, if you're sending something back for a replacement, it's a return authority, or at least that's what my job used to be at one point for, like, computer parts. So I was a returns authority agent in the business that I worked for. So, unless that's different where you are. After 9 and 8, 10 there. There's a process of returning a product due to a fault. Google is telling me it's a complaint, but that can't be right. No, at least for me, for the company that I worked for in computers, it was called a returns authority. You had to, a customer would bring in a part and they would apply to see if they could either, basically you'd go through the, why can't I move that? You go through the process of finding out if it's got a fault. You test it, do warranty testing, and then after the warranty testing proved that there was a fault, and maybe it could be dealt with a manufacturer, whatever. Oh, it's a fucking little tree. Yeah, after you find out that it has to get returned or whatever, then you would apply to the supplier and basically like put in a returns request for the item. And once you get authorization for it, you'd package it up and ship it out to the supplier. They'd get it, they'd test it, they would either fix it, find the fault, fix it, or replace it, and they'd send that back to you, back to the company. And then on return, after receiving it, if it was brand new, it wouldn't be tested. If it was like received, replaced, fixed, then you test it and then give it back to the person. Yeah. Benches, we were looking at the wrong way. Oh, the wrong way. Talking about the ones up here? I don't know. Because the benches down here, the problem with it is there's a little tiny tree. That's what their beef is. I also need to find somebody that's willing to come down here and mine this. Which shouldn't be too hard. I've got a lot of people that fucking love mining. And one of these people have got to be night owls. Like, Drew's probably asleep. Ton's probably asleep. What about Sass? Are you asleep? Yes, you are. Damn. About Black. What have you got? Construction, melee. Mostly just checking. I figured the people that are sleeping around this is probably going to be people that do mining, you know? Kind of my thought process with it. You do construction. I don't really like pissing off Chalky because Chalky goes like Slaughterer. Really easy. Like a drop of the hat kind of shit, you know? Don't mess with Chalky. What about Saggle? Nah. I know I passed a few people that can do mining. You in a hive mood? So I think the bench is looking at the wrong way. The benches down the bottom are facing upwards on purpose. They want a special trade. They want Thrombo Fur. We might actually have enough of that. Orbital Beam Targeter. That's always fun. Masterwork, I would get attacked for that, but maybe. Back to topic, I just call it return. Yeah, you can just refer to it as like returns and stuff like that because like it's not being tested under warranty at this point. It's being replaced, or that's what you said, right? It was getting replaced. Returning the product due to fault. Yeah. I would say it's basically getting probably repaired or replaced or whatever at this point. I'd probably just refer to it as like it's currently under returns or something like that. Resurrected Mech Serums could be good. I think I have a few of those. Hold up. Yeah, it's really funny. I used to do quite a lot of different things in computers, but the return stuff was actually one that I kind of enjoyed. I didn't really have to deal with people much. I mostly just had to deal with the internal staff. Unless they were like really, really fucking incompetent. And I don't use that word lightly. I'm talking about the ones that just refuse to deal with people and purposely like connect through like phone calls to a department that shouldn't be talking to outward people. And then I hated it because then I'd have to explain to like a really pissy shitty customer that I'm sorry that their technician hasn't like forgotten that your thing existed, and then when they finally tested it, discovered that it was faulty, and now it has to go away for returns, but they forgot to give it to me for 3 weeks, and now I'm only just sending out for a authority to get it sent because the technician that was working on your part was forgetful bastard, you know. Obviously I don't say that to the person, but that's legit what's happened. And I get the smack of some pissed off customer that doesn't understand. You know, I don't miss that. Defective or broke after use. Basically what happened is Shadow's PC struggled to turn on one day. It just wouldn't boot. Came to conclusion it's the main board. He's got it sent back to somewhere that could test it, and they're sending it back to the manufacturer for either repair or replacement. That's what's going on as far as I understand. If I've got everything, all my facts and shit straight across like the last month or so. I feel like I feel like I'm doing well if that's accurate. Hopefully replaced, or they tell me there's nothing wrong with it and tell me to go fuck myself. Now, main boards are good. Usually they're not the easiest thing to test where a problem is. So it's usually if something's wrong, it either needs soldering or like a capacitor's broken or something easy like that, or it's a replacement, because like a lot of modern day main boards are manufactured. They're not like handcrafted shit anymore, so it's all down to like nano fucking space for like all the lines and shit. So that's a little bit of exaggeration, but it's not fucking far off, you know. So yeah, generally mainboards and CPUs, if some shit's not working, it's usually replacement these days. Some of the older stuff, you used to be able to take it to a repair person and they would be able to like solder a replacement bit of whatever was broken back into place, or like replace an item of it, and it wouldn't be as big of a problem. But yeah, that's not how shit works these days. Everything's made in like airtight, super clean environments and stuff, and you just can't get away with that. Alright, now that they moved this thing down, I could move it down by one. I have a bit more red drink, hold on. Very weird thing happening because it was taking a long time to turn on. Longer and longer over the course of months, so even 30 minutes, and 2 weeks ago it just refused to turn on at all. Yeah, Seller isn't a tech company, they're just general seller companies, so doubt they'll go into any repairs. Not usually, but if they don't do repairs, they may have a company that they go through for repairing. Because that was something that one of the places I worked for did. They were a like a third party for certain brands. I'm gonna need, I might grab you. You don't have construction. I was hoping for construction. But yeah, sometimes that will happen. They'll be like, we can't test it, we can't work on it. So send it back to us and we'll send it back to our person and they'll work on it. You know, that's kind of how it goes. And then once it's been tested or whatever, mind you, some of them are just like straight up, it's easier to replace. A lot of them these days do more of just a straight up replacement stuff, so who knows. I also don't know what it's like also, you know, in Poland either. Could be completely different kind of consumer laws behind repair and replacement things. At least I think in Australia it's up to the business, the establishment that sold it, as to what they do, kind of thing. I hope that they're getting some... Yeah, they're getting slate. Good. I was hoping that they weren't just getting all one type of material, you know? Alright, so if they are getting slate, we must be getting some of this built. They fucked up some of these bedrooms, I'll admit that. I hope they fix it soon. It's only a good quality. I want that one to move. I may have moved a couple of just good qualities or whatever. That one's moving too. It's only good. I want to keep excellent and above, because that way I don't have people having absolute shit fits about, oh, my bedroom's not nice enough. It's like, deal with it. You have a bedroom. So we have quite a decent customer protection. Yes, it would be a whole process again. Yeah. Sounds that way. Sounds like you guys got it alright. Plus, I'm pretty sure your computer... Is that the one that you built over Christmas? That you had, like, all the stuff shipped and it, like, briefly sat in, like, the snow and shit? Because I don't know if, like, cold could have damaged something. Maybe. I doubt it. You'd let it thaw. You let it thaw out heaps, so it should be fine. Like, theoretically, it should be fine. No, it should be mostly fine. Like, if something, like, legitimately had a problem, like, mainboards don't really have, like, an easy, quick way to tell if there's any kind of, like, cold water damage type shit. Some parts do. Same with, like, hard drives used to have, like, a way you could kind of tell if they had shock damage and shit. I don't know, this shit could be fascinating sometimes, because, like, when you do, like, technical stuff, like the hardware side of technical stuff, which is what I used to do. Trinket, you ain't doing that, right? Some of the physical testing side is like really, really obvious, but it depends what it is. What kind of station got into board? Well, that's sort of what I was kind of thinking, but I know that Shadow like let it thaw out for a few hours before I even did anything with it, and kind of waited until it got up to internal like room temperature. I'm hoping Trinket doesn't die here. Alright, you, how's your health doing? No immediate. Armadillo mate, can you rescue him? And I don't know who is working on these. Kagul, mate. No, not you. Young, can you do construction? I know Armadillo can. Unfortunately, I've got him working on something. These guys should be able to do some level of construction, you'd think. But I did let it thaw. Yeah, you did, because you were like really frustrated that it came and it sat outside and you couldn't get home in time. You had classes and shit. And then when you did get home, you're like, I have to let this thaw out because it's been sitting out in the snow and stuff, and you did the right thing with that, and you like gave it time even though you really, really fucking wanted to like just get to it already. I reckon you did fine. I don't think it would be related to that. Like sometimes mainboards do come out and they are just straight up manufacturer error shit. Like I know when I was working with like testing mainboards and CPUs and stuff, there was one fleet of mainboards, like all of them in a batch were just shit. And we kept getting people coming back who had bought those specific ones over and over again. But the worst part is the replacements we got for them, brand new out of the box, were also shit because they were from the same fucking batch. That was a nightmare. I remember the worst one was I had a police officer lady who was trying to get her computer fixed, and it was those mainboards, and she kept getting a fucking dud. I remember the third time she came in, I legit thought she was going to take fucking legal action because she was so fucking pissed off. And I'm like, I'm screwed. I'm like the returns person. I'm like, the process is, though, if it's brand new, don't open it. It goes to the customer, right? So I was safe in that regard, but fucking hell. It was stressful. It was unnecessary stressful. Also, where did I put these? Was here, right? Yeah. Stanley's no longer working. Alright, cool. It's fine. They're no longer in psychotic states. The frustrating thing is I've been told to find new packaging. Oh yeah, the packaging descended in. That shit's fine. You gotta be careful with that too. It has to be properly sealed and shit, or they'll try to get you with the, oh, it wasn't properly packaged and sent and it got damaged in transit shit. That's fun too. But straight up wrote, they destroyed whatever packaging they get it in. Instead of sending it in original perfect for it. Gotta find a specific size package so I can send it through the post box. Yeah, you also gotta make sure too that it doesn't like move around, but it also isn't squished by packaging either. Powers fire, catch fire, first use fresh out of the box. Yeah, that's always exciting. That what do you call it? The ambient campfire computers. Yeah, no. That's, at least it was like immediate though. You probably would have had some kind of warranties and shit hopefully on your computer and stuff, but still dangerous and unsafe shit, you know. Unfortunately. I should be able to put a roof on this side now. Hopefully. Oh no, roof. I have bubble wrap saved from other packages just for that. Now see, I don't know how much kind of like space you have where you live. But at least for me, whenever I get any kind of new computer components, one of the first things I do is I try to fit everything I can inside of the case box. Like all the boxes inside of themselves, you know, like one of those little like doll things, right? And I put that somewhere, storage, with all of its manuals and CDs and cables and shit that it came with, so that if for any reason, for warranty purposes and stuff, I have to like send something back, I will have at least the appropriate size boxes. However, I also have like any additional cables and CDs and information and shit. But that's only if you have the space. And obviously once you've already unpacked the thing and thrown it out, there's nothing you can fucking do about that. Unfortunately. But yeah, that's really my only advice for that kind of thing in the future is if you ever get another PC in the future, just try to like stuff everything inside of like the bigger boxes progressively until like everything's in there. Because at least then you'll have stuff if you need it. Like I replace my previous box with the newest box that I get. So if I get a new PC, the previous PC's box goes, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know, I've just kind of always been like that because I did the return shit. So it's just like automatic. First thing that applies in my mind is just keep the shit. I don't assume that this kind of thing just is automatic for other people, just to clarify that. It's not something that I imagine people think of when they buy a new device. They go, cool, unbox, toss out the old stuff or recycle it or use it however you want. I personally like cat trees. I like making cat trees out of the old case boxes. That's fun. But yeah, it's gone then. Warranty will often require proof of purchase as well. At the label of the boxes to save those. Less in storage. Yes, I do the same thing with that too. I will take a photograph. These days, like the less and less I want to store, so I'll take a photograph of all the equipment and the serial numbers with each box and the receipt and shit. And then I can cut around, because I did that with my tablet. That receipt from you guys. I